Edgerunners Made Me Cry. Welcome to Night City Choom. David Martinez is a young boy that has a run-in with a gang that takes away the life of his mom. Struggling for money, he joins a group of cyberpunks that go on missions for money. He creates relationships and dreams about becoming a legend and keeping the promises he made to his mom. The story is an absolute roller coaster of emotions, so get ready. I will be summarizing, reviewing, and rating this anime. But before we begin, thank you so much for 700 subscribers. I really do appreciate all the support I'm getting. The next goal is 800. Alright Chooms, let's get chromed up and jump straight into it. Straight off the bat, we have the police shootout with a cyber-enhanced human. This guy has the military-grade Sandevistan, and we will see a lot of it. It makes everything around you go slower as if you are moving hella fast. The police one-shot this guy directly in the dome. We are introduced to David Martinez talking to his Ripperdoc. We are shown the beauty, I guess, of the city, and we see glimpses of a white-haired girl. This will soon be Lucy. David runs to school and messes up the classes with his back alley update. We head back home and his mom only wants for him to be the best as she gets emotional. She wants him to reach the top of Arasaka Tower. Suddenly a shootout occurs and their car is in the crossfire. The ambulance arrives but they see that they aren't policy holders, so they leave. His mom is currently in a stable position. He has to break into his own house as rent is due. We see his mom was in possession of the Sandevistan from earlier. David starts getting bullied by one of the kids from school and he gets beat up because his cyberware isn't good enough. We find out later that his mom has passed on. His life seems to be falling apart and everything in Night City is so expensive and everything has a cost. David heads straight to the Ripperdoc to get the sandy fused to him. He installs it for David and it looks hella painful. He heads back to school and gets revenge on his bully, this time using the sandy. We see Arasaka analyzing David from the footage from school and we learn he has a high tolerance for cybernetics. On the train, one of his chips get taken and it's Lucy stealing from him. She offers to team up with him to steal from Arasaka. They are successful in their missions but David passes out from the excessive use of the sandy. The ambulance nurse wants to take David's implants but Lucy saves him as they roll down the highway. Lucy takes him to his Ripperdoc and then back to her place. They go into VR where they see the moon. This scene will come back to hurt us again. We see David has been set up and Lucy's crew are there now. We see that his mom was supposed to sell the sandy to this guy. They try to negotiate since David can't just give the sandy to them. All he asks for is a chance to pay them back. They give him one chance at a job. Maine gives him a chip with a mission information. They need the data from an Arasaka limo. The bodyguard catches on and tries to get in his limo. David and Lucy speed off and a chase ensues. One of the pursuers nearly kills David but Maine shows up and blasts him to shreds. They all celebrate the successful mission and David is on the crew. The job was set up by Faraday, the number one fixer. Maine sends him on a small mission to do a delivery. Later, Lucy takes David for a run around the city. We also see Maine teaching David the ropes while he is on missions. He keeps getting more and more upgrades to make himself better. The crew encounter a weird man pissing in the corner and instantly kills Pillar. David is in shock. They all find him but he keeps shooting missiles at them. David seemingly kills him to protect Lucy. His head nearly gets blown off but Maine saves him. Lucy and David watch a rocket launch and things get deep. David says he'll take Lucy to the moon one day and they start making out. Maine offers David Pillar's cyber hands but David really wants Maine's gorilla arms. If he flatlines, he gets them. They have a mission to steal from Tanaka, who is the father of the kid David beat up. They meet with Jimmy Kurosaki, an erotic brain dance director. They are trying to get through him to Tanaka. JK uses an EMP-like device to subdue them. He took David with him and the gang go off to rescue him. We see David in a simulation of the same night from the first episode. JK hooks him up to a brain dance machine to make him go through the memories of the previous Sandy user. The gang busts through but JK has drones after them. He is subdued and taken to confront Tanaka. He starts to lay a beat down but David gets a good hit in. However, JK is hit with a stray bullet and dies. We start with a flashback that Maine has and he slowly loses his mind with all the chrome in him. He starts showing symptoms of cyberpsychosis. He gets irritated that Kiwi is taking so long to get the data. We just hear him beating her up. He doesn't even realize what he did. With Kiwi out, Lucy has to do the net run in her place to break the ice. Shit goes south and they have to disconnect Lucy. They nab the data just in time before Tanaka flatlined. While holding Arasaka off, Maine loses it and Dorio passes on. Maine goes berserk as a last resort. David wants to help but Maine tells him to run. The animation in these scenes look absolutely amazing and expressive. We see Maine pass on in front of David. Some time has passed and David is now the leader of the crew. He's gotten more upgrades and buffer too. They are on a new job for Wakako with a new member chaperoning but he doesn't make it very far. We see David with his Ripperdoc praising him on how well he can manage all these enhancements. We also get a mention of Adam Smasher, a living legend. At the Afterlife bar we meet with Faraday for a Militech job. We see Lucy has quit the team and is staying with David. They move their conversation to a mountain to look at the stars. This This is where we learn about Lucy's life. Her backstory shows that she was trained relentlessly as a kid to be a runner for Arasaka. Most of her friends were killed by a virus on the old net while running. Some of them managed to escape, but she was the only one that lived. Somewhere else, a guy is being hired to recover the lost daughter, but Lucy takes care of him. We are at an office on a job and David kills 2 people in there, but it seems his mental state is declining. We see people trying to catch Lucy and the hit is put on Faraday. There's a product called the cyberskeleton and it seems to be very important. Looks like Faraday might backstab the team. This part with Rebecca could be a reference to how bad the game was at launch. The team noticed that David is going down a dark path and the team is scared for him. Lucy is net running and notices more runners are being sent. We get a mini flashback of the beginning of the ep, but we see David hallucinating and panicking. It seems to be the symptoms from his excessive chrome. Lucy tries to get through to David, but it doesn't work. He can't remember how many he has killed. Lucy rushes off to another runner, but it was a trap and she is captured by Faraday and Kiwi. The crew are on a Militech job to get the cyberskeleton, but Faraday has other plans. He wants David to be a test dummy for this. Even before the job, David is suffering and needs to use immunosuppressants. David's quick thinking allows him to flip the entire truck so the team can enter. More Militech reinforcements arrive, raining down fire. We get a phone call from Lucy saying to use the cyberskeleton. Something feels off here. Lucy escapes and tells David it's a trap, but Faraday subdues her once more. He continues to taunt David and he starts to go psycho. Rebecca calms him with meds and says he's gonna save Lucy. David is using the cyberskeleton to mow down the entirety of Militech with ease. David, Rebecca and Falco are speeding it to Lucy with Arasaka hot on their trail. With ease, David destroys all of them while laughing. Kiwi heads to Faraday, but he backstabs her. You can't trust no one in Night City. Seems like we are meeting the living legend Adam Smasher real soon. David books it for the helicarriers and Kiwi contacts them. She tells him all the information she has and she is killed. David makes it to the top of Arasaka Tower just like his mom wanted. David just jumps in and slaughters everyone in the room and hindering Faraday. Adam Smasher shows up and confronts David. Smasher shoots David and they 1v1 with their Sandys. David grabs Lucy and escapes but slowly loses it. He is calmed by Lucy's warm embrace and the most heart-wrenching song plays in the background. Faraday falls out the paramedic carrier and falls to his death. Adam Smasher smashes Rebecca as he falls on top of her. David loses it and fights Smasher. It seems bad as he is out of meds. Falco grabs Lucy and takes her away while David starts to break apart. This damn song again, I can't deal. We see a flashback of David's life with Lucy and we bounce back to him getting absolutely smashed. He starts laughing as he accepts his death at the hands of Adam Smasher. We move to the moon as we see Lucy touring it. She imagined David is with her as this was always her dream. Lucy embraces the warmth of the sun and the credits roll. This series was an emotional roller coaster and I really hope they make a new season with a new cast. From the cool unique animation and the sounds that are from the game, it's a tribute to the brand and the game that makes me want to hop back in. I played Cyberpunk on release on my PS4 and oh boy, that was not a good time. As time went on, they fixed a lot and created a whole ass anime to go along with it. This expands the universe so much to an extent where you can actually find items from the anime in the game. We get so many cool shots that are full of emotion, anger and happiness. The story was well written and covered all bases. As a standalone, this feels complete with no loose ends. Maybe David is still alive in Arasaka, but it is implied he died. Like I said, the animation in a lot of scenes are top tier, but some scenes are a bit janky I feel. But it could just be the art style that I'm not the biggest fan of. But I have to give props that it works with the show. The songs used really make you feel a load of emotions. I really Want to Stay at Your House makes me tear up every time I see it in the scenes that it's played in. The lyrics just fit the feeling of our protagonist. Overall, this anime deserves a 9.5 out of 10. A small point lost only cause I feel the animation in some parts could have been more refined to match the rest of the show. What do you guys think? Have you played the game before watching the anime? Let me know your thoughts below in the comments. Like this video if you enjoyed and subscribe for more. It's your boy ZenMasterKai. Take care and have fun, chum.